speaking a little bit to Bernie Marcus. He's the co-founder of Home Depot, one of the many companies sharing the loot with at least $1,000 bonuses to workers, potentially more to come if the numbers work out right. Bernie joins us right now. Bernie, essentially this back and forth, the Democrats saying, you know, $1,000 is chump change. It doesn't really move the needle much. You say what?
I say that interview you just had is the most incredible thing I've ever heard. I really actually laughed out loud. You want to talk about somebody who is off the charts and doesn't understand reality. That's your last guest. It's Schumer and Pelosi. $1,000 is so meaningful. And I'll give you an example, Neil. I spent my life on the floor of the stores at Home Depot. That's what I did. Almost every week of my life, I was in stores all over the United States. And I talked to customers and I talked to employees. And I can tell you that $1,000 is more than meaningful. It could be paying the mortgage. It could be paying for a car repair. It could be paying for a past due bill. These are things that the Pelosi-Schumer group don't have a clue about. That's why they lost the election. It's as simple as that. They are so busy with their elitists in San Francisco and Hollywood and New York City and all these money deals that they go into week after week after week. And Clinton never knew about the real people out there. And that's why they lost the election. And that's why they're going to lose the next election for the same reason. When they start talking about crumbs to people in America where these are not crumbs, it's lifeline. And more important than that, there's something happening, Neil, that's critically important that makes more sense than everything else. We had a thing. You know, I'm involved with Job Creators Network, yes, which is really benefiting the small business guy. We had a conference call this week, and we talked to small business guys. Here's what they told us. Number one, what are they doing with the money? And by the way, this is a tsunami. You hear about Home Depot, you hear about Microsoft, you hear about Google, but you're not hearing about the people that really count out there, and that's the 30 million businesses, small businesses in America.
You're right about that. Yep.
Now, this money flows to them. Let me tell you what they are saying. I have a pizza guy in Florida that I'm aware of. He's going to redo his pizza parlor completely. He hasn't been able to do for 3 years. He's changing the whole thing over. He figures he's going to be able to hire 2 more people. He can expense the cost of redoing his property. That's important. That's 2 people. I spoke to a guy who is on the phone who manufactures cookies. Well, he's going to hire 3 or 4 people. Now, when you start adding that up to millions of businesses, and by the way, they're all paying higher wages. And why are they paying higher wages? Because suddenly in America, jobs are being created all over. There's becoming a shortage of workers out there. So qualified workers are getting more. This is doing more. You know this whole $15 and they went on the streets and they went against McDonald's. Well, you know what? It's happening through the free enterprise.
No, you're right about that. You know, Bernie, I think what's lost in the sauce of this argument, I understand, you know, Democrats have said they're maybe some of them embarrassed by their no vote, worried that it could come back to boomerang on them, given this unexpected pay it forward thing that companies are doing and trying to imitate. And maybe the companies can afford to give more. And maybe they got such largesse that they should share more. But that's not the point. They also have the option of not doing this. So I think you get caught in oh, yeah, they should give more, and oh, yeah, they should. Bottom line here, I don't think people appreciate the magnitude of companies small and large doing this and the effect it could have on the economy. I have no idea it's going to affect Republicans and whether they can still hang on to the House and or Senate. No idea whether it's going to lift the president's approval numbers. I do know this, that consumer sentiment, retail sentiment, even in the slow fourth quarter, picked up to a degree and a pace at which we've not seen in 10 years. So there's something going on here, and I suspect the tax cuts and at the time coming and hoping that they would come to fruition are a big reason.
Well, Neil, you have to understand something. Number one, I don't think that most of corporate America or America believed that this tax was going to happen. I know that Job Creators Network was very effective in making it happen, along with some key senators that supported, like Ron Johnson. So suddenly you don't think that overnight you go from 36% in taxes to 21 and you just take it and throw it out. That's not really the way business works. People are sitting down now and figuring out their future. They're saying, look, we now have this amount of money that we didn't have before. Where could we intelligently... Remember, this is not the U.S. government. When they make an investment, they do it because there's got to be a return on invested capital. The U.S. government spends it because they have it. So they're going to do smart things. They're going to make smart moves, and that'll take a period of time, just like the small businesses. This is not going to... It's not going to turn overnight. Corporations are not going to open 14 buildings overnight. Come on, give me a break. You got to use your brains. I mean, Democrats, use your stupid brains. You don't have any brains, and understand what happens.
Now, Bernie, be nice.
Listen,
be a nice billionaire.
Listen, you're calm. Listen, you're calmer than I am. I've been watching this scene take place for a while,
right.
and I just don't get it. I just don't get their thinking. What's good for America, Neil? What's good for the American people? Let's stop thinking about politics. Is this good for the Democratic Party? Does this mean we could take the presidency? I mean, let's start thinking in terms of really lifting up the lives of the American people, creating more jobs, taking more people off of food stamps. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I think that Trump is actually doing what he said he's going to do. And that is so unique and unusual for a politician to get up there and do what he said he's going to do. It's shocking. It's shocking.
Well, apparently it is for a lot of folks. Bernie, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very, very much.